I knew him as Solus. Smart, thoughtful, loved to hear himself talk. But long ago, he had a different name. The Dreadwolf. Ancient elven god of lies, or heroic rebel against tyranny, depending on which story you believe. In his desperate fight against the corrupt elven gods, Solus imprisoned them, creating a veil that split our world from the raw magic of the Fade. He had won. But the veil cost the elves everything. Their magic, their freedom, even their immortality. Now, Solus wants to tear down that veil and undo the damage he caused, even if that means our world has to burn. Somebody's gotta stop him, and that's where you come in.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been about 5-6 months, probably longer than that. I think it was when I was doing the Resident Evil Chris playthrough. Welcome back to the channel though, and welcome to Dragon Age Veilguard. A bit of a strange entry to the Dragon Age series, which I'll go into as I play. But essentially, it's if I remember correctly, the 4th installment and possibly final one from the way they've done the, from what I've can tell. But for the moment, let's get through the character customization and creation. Now, this is different to how the previous ones were in a sense. So, we're going to go play as an elf. Now, the reason I'm playing as an elf for this is I've already got 2 other characters I'm playing as. I'm playing as a human mage and a dwarven warrior. So I'm going to go... I know it's a bit cliche, dwarven warrior, human mage. But we're going to go as an elf. We're going to go as a female elf, actually, for this one. I'm going to just give you a quick overview and then I'll cut the recording just so I can build the character, and then I'll return once she's done. But basically, it's more along the lines of if anyone's ever played Elder Scroll Online. The character creation's a bit similar to that. Like the customization of your avatar, shall I say. So like you can choose to build and everything using sliders, or I say sliders. Yes, I will do the default. Using like the triangle. So you got like you can change your facial features for each one. So like it creates like a blend of the face that you're trying to get. So for instance, if I just quickly, so as you can see, as I select each one, the face changes slightly as it takes on hints of that preset, shall I say. So that one, and then the final one, we'll go that. And then the way it works then, you've got your triangle. And the more you move it towards one part, the more the face changes and takes on that area. So like if I was to move it to the middle there, it'll take a combination of the two, the top and the bottom left one. If I move it down here, it takes on like a combination of the left and right, as you can see there with the percentages. So it takes on 50% of them. Actually, that's not a bad look. That's not a bad look. Let's just change that last one a little bit. No, so I am going to cut it. I'm just giving an idea of how the customization works. Yeah, we'll go with that. Then just slide it a little more across there. Or a little more across. Yeah, we'll go for that. I like that look. And you can do the same with the body. You can choose whether it's quite slender, quite hourglass shaped, or quite robust. I think would be the more correct terminology I should use there. Then you got like your complexion and then all your sliders. So like say head width, flat end width, the usual crap that you get with a character creation tool these days. Then if you have a look at the top, you've got so you've got your head, your body, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, your hair, your makeup, and then your scars and your tattoos and your war paint. So if you just give me a moment, I shall be back with the new look. Okay, we're back. Now, as you can see, there's been a bit of a change to how she looks. Here, right, so I was going to take her down the mage route. But like I've said, I've already taken a mage with my human character. And I do enjoy playing as the mages quite a lot, but I've not tested out the roads yet. So I am going to try her out before I do actually. So these show you the specialisations your characters can go down, depending on their class. And each specialisation actually has a route to their background, to the different backgrounds and factions, in a sense. So I believe the duelist is the I'll show you in a minute, but each one's basically matched to a faction in a sense, and each class has three specialisations they can take. So this is where the faction comes in. Now the faction is also your background and also decides what your last name is. So you've got the Grey Wardens. Now the Grey Wardens were in the original, like going back to the very first Dragon Age, which was Dragon Age Origins. Basically they're there to fight with the Darkspawn. They're like the guardians against the Darkspawn, and the ritual you've got to go through with that, it's basically like you're not guaranteed to survive. It's one of the more recognised factions in the series, and I've still not chose it, and I might not for this one, to be fair. Veil Jumpers are a new one as far as I know. They're basically elves who, well, a faction founded by elves who explore ancient ruins looking for like history and stuff like that. Shadow Dragons. Now this is what I'm doing my mage with at the moment. The Shadow Dragons are basically anti-slavers in Tevinter. Tevinter being like blood mages and stuff like that. So they're like the underground, the railroad, sorry, from Fallout and stuff like that. Then you've got the Lords of Fortune. They're basically like treasure seekers. I don't know if they're like along the lines of dwarfs or Qunari. But yeah, you've got them. Oh, did not mean to do that. You got the Morn Watch. Now the Morn Watch is what I'm doing with my Dwarven Warrior. I just couldn't help but put him under that because it just felt like an interesting change. So they're basically like, they're a necromantic order that explore life and death, and they tend to the dead basically in Nevarra's Grand Necropolis. Necromancy's got a weird history in this game. It's the same as like in Elder Scrolls. Certain regions it's allowed, other regions it's not. And then you got the Antivan Crows, which are basically ruthless assassins and murderers and stuff like that. Who am I going to go with for this one? See, I'm unsure about it because I don't want to go... Oh, by the way, I do mean to mention, there's perks with each class, with each faction you choose. So, for instance, Grey Wardens, you get more reputation with them quicker. You do more damage to Darkspawn, of course. And then you get better base defense and health. Not much, it's not groundbreaking, but it's gonna make a difference. With the Veil Jumpers, you get reputation with a quick aid. That's always going to be a feat with each class. You get the reputation quicker when you belong to them. You deal more damage against Fey touched enemies, and you deal slightly increased damage, like critical and weak point damage. The Shadow Dragons deal more damage to Venatori, which are like a cult, as well as your class specific resource generates slightly faster, useful when you're playing as mage. For the Lords of Fortune, you deal increased damage versus mercenaries and you perform takedowns a bit easier. The Morn Watch, you deal increased damage to undead and demons, which makes sense. And you can apply an additional affliction stack on targets. You'll learn about that later on. And then you got the Antiphon Crows ones, which is deal increased damage versus Antams, which I believe are Canary warriors. And they hold an extra potion. I am tempted by the Lords of Fortune, to be fair. Yeah, we'll go for the Lords of Fortune for this character. So, when a corrupt Riviani, with a noble double-crossed Rook, Rook being your character, Rook escaped to the collapsing ruin, turned the tables and destroyed a dangerous artifact. A rising Lord of Fortune, skilled at breaking into lost tombs and ruins, Rook killed a corrupt Riviani noble to prevent an ancient evil from being given to the Venatori. Her actions were correct and saved the lives of expedition members, but some Rivaini nobles were resentful. Because the success of the Lord's expedition relied on Rivaini authorities looking the other way, it seemed wise for Rook to step away while tempers settled. So basically, each class, your character's basically done something why they're not associated with the class, with the faction, in a sense. They were part of it, but they've done something in the right, but it's caused a trouble for the faction. So we'll go Lords of what's it? Then you got your play style. Oh, excuse me, what? Yes, left this faction. Now your play style is basically your like difficulty. So you got like storyteller, easy. So very easy, easy, normal, hard, extreme. So yeah, I'll be playing on adventure because I'm not looking at a difficult playthrough. Character name, I didn't really think of that. Maribel Lydia? Yeah, sure.
Time to get to work. What's he been saying now?
What's he been saying now? What's he been saying now?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Also, and I'll cut this out as well, in Dragon Age, this follows on from Dragon Age Inquisition. you can actually customize the Inquisitor from that, if you can remember what your Inquisitor looked like, or you can change it. It doesn't have much of a bearing on this game compared to the other ones where like you created an entire world state. So like in the older ones, spoiler alert if you've never played it, in Inquisition, when you do the like your world state, you choose from the very first game straight through to Inquisition, and you do that online on at the browser and then import it into your game from the EA server. Similar to what you had to do in Mass Effect 3, where you could do a similar kind of thing in game. This, it doesn't affect much. It's quite bare bones in that respect. So we'll make changes, edit. So I'll be back in a minute once I've done the editing. Okay, we're back. Right, so that's basically what I've done with for my Dwarf and Inquisitor. That sounds pretty much like a Dwarven name.
I won't let this stand.
Yeah, that'll do. Right. Now let's go for the world state. So, how this basically works then is who you romanced first. So, you've got either Cassandra, and of course it changes with each like race and gender. So like Josephine is the only one who can be romanced with any character or gender, I believe. Any like background or gender. And no, sorry, Iron Bull's the other one. Iron Bull and Josephine are the two that you can romance with any like background and whatever, as far as I know. All the others require, like Sarah, she needed you to be a female character, didn't matter what. Solas, you have to be a female elf. You have to be a female for Blackwall. And you have to be a female human or elf for Cullen. The others didn't really care, but I'm going to go for Josephine. Right. Let's say he disbanded it. But he wanted to help if he could. There we go. And that's that. That's our character created. I'm going to just set this as its own, like, thingy. Like its own episode on its own, and then we'll start the gameplay in the next episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the next cutscene. No, actually I'm not, because I remember how that plays out. So we're going to end it here. And next episode, we'll move on into the gameplay side of things. So thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you all next episode.